Welcome back, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers. Excuse me, just my camera here for a second. Sorry for interrupting my ad read, but holy crap. Start from the top. Welcome back, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you're looking for somewhere to celebrate, go to watch a Sabres game, celebrate a Sabres win, celebrate 9 Sabres wins in a row. Where else are you going to go than Fatty Beer? I was just at the Lancaster location this past week. Hung out with my boy, Greg Day, holding down the joint, working behind the pine. Had a great time. Watched some of the World Juniors tournament. No better place to watch a hockey game. No better place to watch a Sabres game than Fatty Beer. And, of course, Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds can be found at Extreme Discount Mattress, featuring cool gel memory foam, two-sided mattresses, Tele Latex, organic mattresses, Chatham & Wells, Scott Living, and even the Skechers mattress. All for 1/3 and 1/2 the supposed sale prices anywhere. So stop in at any of their 7 locations across Western New York or check out their website, which is, of course, is extrememattress.com. If you're looking for even more savings, check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga with up to 80% off their already low prices. Save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You get a quality mattress for literally pennies on a dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And remember, if you mention that you are a fan of the podcast, you are a fan of Two Goalies, One Mic, you get a free mattress protector with any purchase of a mattress. So be sure to let them know that you love the podcast, that you like Two Goalies, One Mic, that you ride and die with this team. Win or lose, and we're here. 9 wins in a row. 7 straight starts. Or not 7 straight starts. 7 starts for Alex Lyon. 7 wins for Alex Lyon in this 9-game stretch. Shaky start. Yeah, the second goal you want to save on that, obviously. That was rough. But he comes in solid the rest of the game. After a misplayed puck behind the net. Loses his glove, dives, kind of disrupts whoever that was at a giant whiff on an empty net. But, Alex Lyon jumping into it and disrupting that play. And then Krebsy scoring the empty net goal. Again, this fucking team, man. This team has been nothing short of incredible. Nothing short of incredible. And how can anybody, I'm sure there are criticisms from tonight's game that you could say, but in my opinion, the Sabres dominated the Blues tonight. I mean, I don't know what the underlying numbers say, but they were the better team, in my opinion, from start to finish. Blues, even when they were losing 2-1 for good portion of the first and part of the second, I was like, they're going to win this game. They are going to win this game. There's no way they are losing this hockey game. Not a shot. And you know what? Came back. Alex Tuch. Yeah, he has a goal disallowed. That was definitely a kick, by the way. That was without a doubt a kicking motion. But Alex Tuch with an absolute bar down, Kucherov level snipe to tie the game. And then, Zach Benson. Was it Benson? Tuch tied the game, right? I believe. Was it Tuch that tied the game, or was it Benson that tied the game? I can't remember. I think it was Tuch that tied, and then Benson, right? I believe Benson scored the go-ahead. No. Alex Tuch scored the go-ahead. Sorry. No. I'm sorry. Tuch did tie the game. Benson scored the go-ahead goal. And a beautiful goal by Benson. Great heads-up play by McLeod to get that puck in the front of the net. And then you have Quinn there got a piece of it. And after Quinn gets a piece of it, Benson knocks it in. And I love those goals from guys like Zach Benson. Like, that's what he does every single shift. He doesn't care about scoring pretty goals. He doesn't need the perfect play. He just gets in there and grinds and digs. Grinds and digs. And that's what I love about that kid. Benny the Butcher. So, it's like a good game. And now we're staring 10 wins in a row on Wednesday night, straight in the face in Dallas. You know, man, how cool is this? How fucking cool is this? I fucking mean it, man. Let's all go to the airport. I don't care. What would be? Would that be New Year's Eve? Yeah, it'd be New Year. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Going to the airport. Fuck it. Find out what time that plane's getting in. Where is it getting in? Let's all go to the airport. This team won 10 games in a row. This team has made hockey, you know, fun again in Buffalo. And just, you know, you're proud to be a Sabres fan. Who isn't proud to be a Sabres fan right now with how well this team has performed since Yarmo Kekalainen has taken the reins? And you know, I'm waiting for Hurls to hop on here. He's running late, and we're going to talk about it too. But like, this is Yarmo's team. This is without a doubt Yarmo's team, and I can't wait to see what moves he decides to make coming up here soon, because it's going to be fun. This is going to be a fun few weeks leading into the Olympics. I think there's another roster freeze headed in the Olympics, right? I'm pretty sure they do another one. Oh man, so cool. So cool. How about Josh Norris too? Josh Norris and Austin look great together. You know, the Bills, Josh, I'm not going to say he didn't perform on Sunday. Obviously, he wants that throw back on the 2-point conversion. But hey, the Sabres Josh got it done. Sabres Josh got it done. I'm not taking a shot at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's like the Dominic Hasek of that Bills team. Like, imagine, like, I said this a few months ago, and then I saw somebody else tweet it. I think it's by Jerry Sullivan. It's like a parody Jerry Sullivan account. It says, like, Josh Allen, it's starting to feel like Josh Allen is like what Hasek was for those 90s Sabres. And like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like being a Bills fan right now and watching Josh Allen put this team on his back week after week, now playing through injuries and just trying to will this team to win after win. But like, yeah, man, the Joshes here on this squad got it done tonight. And we got our boy Connor Hurley. Let me pull up the right overlay here real quick before we bring him in. Where are we here? Let's see. Let me find the proper overlay. Bring him in here. There we go. All right, there we go. Bring him, man. Hurls.
Here we are. You hear me?
Fucking time. Where have you been?
Yeah, sorry, it's been a while.
No, it's all good.
I'm a bit rusty. Here we are, though.
Here we are. You're in Buffalo too.
No, I'm back in LA now.
Oh, you're back in LA?
And then I'm flying back again on Thursday.
Holy crap.
Pretty dumb. But yeah, it's all good. Super exciting times, obviously. And yeah, no, I intended to go to the Eagles game yesterday. Flight didn't work out. I had a flight at 8 p.m. and then I had some travel issues on the way there. So ended up getting a flight credit, and we were able to, me and my girlfriend were able to get tickets to the Jets game, the final, which is looking like the final game at the Ralph on Sunday. And yeah, flying back. So it's gonna be great.
You'll at least get one series of Josh Allen in the red helmet, I think, right? Probably
yeah,
the first series or the
I
first.
hope. I don't know. I was hoping a half, but yeah, we'll see. Especially if he's not at full health, I don't think they should risk it. But
I agree with you there.
Even just being there for what is very likely going to be the final game, I think the emotion of it all is going to be completely worth it. So really excited, and amidst hopefully a 10-game win streak for the Sabres would just be the cherry on top.
Now, I've been joking around since they won. I want to start at 7 in a row. Like where did the Sabres fly in? when they come back in from a road trip? Is
Isn't
the
it,
same deal as the Bills?
Yeah, it's got to be the private section of the Buffalo airport.
Is it like crazy to think that fans might show up to congratulate this team, even it being on New Year's? It's gonna be New Year's Eve, right?
No,
Wednesday night.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I think that's probably expected.
Because I want to start that rally. I've been talking about it since 7. It's like, imagine this team finds a way to will themselves to 10 wins in a row, and just the overall, the way that would you agree this team just feels different?
It definitely does. I think it's similar to some of those streaks. I guess it was 2018 and 2019, the last time we went on this type of heater. But yeah, I mean, I think for whatever reason, the firing of Kevin Adams occurred at precisely the right time. I think they needed the momentum of a few wins right before it to get some confidence. And it seems as though the players have really felt that we need to step our game up to prove to this new regime that we are worthy of being here, that we want to be a part of the solution. So, yeah, I mean, in that sense, it does feel different because I think it's a very unique situation with what's transpired here in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I kind of couldn't agree with you more. I don't know, man. Like I say it, like you're starting to see people, and I met a couple guys at my gym last week. We were shooting the shit about the Sabres or talking about the game, and they were making plans like for the game that night. And I'm like, dude, this is so cool. This is so cool to actually see people. And I work in retail, you know what I mean? Like I work for a major beverage vendor, distributor. And so like I'm in and out of stores all day long, like Tops, Wegmans, Walmart, wherever it might be. I'm there every day. And you're starting to see on game nights, the Sabres jerseys are coming out. The Sabres apparel is coming out during Bills season. You know, you're not used to seeing that around here. And then people are making plans for game nights right now. It's so cool, man. You know, again, I'm not going to say it's like 05, 06 vibes when that team really surprised a lot of us with the run they went on. But, like, it's just cool to see that fans are so bought into this squad right now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. And I haven't experienced something like, especially living in Buffalo, because I haven't lived in Buffalo full time since 2010 when I went to college at Syracuse.
First comment. I think it has first. Wow, dude. Way to be optimistic, Andrew. Sorry, continue.
Well, I think you can look at it and be like, that's probably the best team they'll face during this streak. So not outlandish to say that would be the way it ends, just given how good Dallas is. But yeah, I think they could compete with almost any team in the league right now, the way that they're playing. Momentum is a real thing, and having the confidence that they've instilled in themselves from this is pretty amazing. So I think they'll give Dallas a run for their money. I really do. Ottinger will be tough. He's been amazing, but I think they'll give him a game. I really do.
Yeah, I like this. Let's fucking go. Someone should tell Dallas that even the stars disappear when the sun rises in the 716. Yeah. Just to kind of get into the game here a little bit. Well, actually, no, you mentioned, the firing of Kevin Adams came at the right time. And I see a lot of stuff online, the whole thank you, Kevin Adams, the usual suspects who, still want to glaze that guy. But like, it's in my opinion that, and I don't know how you feel about this, but do you feel that, I'm not saying like Kevin wasn't a respected guy, but I don't think he was feared very much by players. You know what I mean? It almost, you as a player, you might feel comfortable knowing that Kevin's the GM because, there's not going to be accountability or consequences. With Yarmo, I feel like it's a lot different. He's a no bullshit, no BS kind of guy. And that if you don't perform, you could be the next guy getting shipped out, unless your name's like Darlene or Tage.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. I will say that I don't think it's a GM's primary role to be intimidating. I think that's obviously way more the responsibility of the head coach and the coaching staff. But I think there is an air of respect that comes along with a guy like Yarmo, how long he's been in the league, the jobs that he's had, and bringing in guys like Bergevin and Josh Flynn, who he had worked with before, and Bergevin being a former NHL player himself. Both of those guys have also worked in NHL front offices. I think every player on this team realizes the opportunity that they have to, as I said earlier, not only continue to play well right now, but be a part of the solution in the future, not just this season, but in the next few years, because it is still one of the youngest teams in the NHL. And we kept saying that and kept saying it, and it never led to results. But at this current moment, they found the right recipe. They found the right line combinations. Power play is doing great. Goaltending is you're getting the saves when you need them. Even a night like tonight, look at Alex Line. He started out first goal, obviously a little bit tough, 2-on-1. You still don't want to get beat short side. You always say take the
I felt like
shooter.
there was a lot of bodies bunched in there too.
For sure.
That was a tough play to read. Second goal, like we're both goalies, man.
Yeah.
Like that puck found like the one spot probably between his skate, the pad, and the ice.
I mean, for sure, weird
to save, but I'm just
definitely weird. And I hate the not saying that you say it all the time because I know both of us are in this camp, but I hate the need the save thing because anytime a goal goes in, that's not like this most amazing or ridiculous goal. You'll see that entire crowd like need to save. That's just
you want to save, not need.
That's just like
make that save.
That's just a goal that he wants back, and I think the first one he wants back too, even judging by his reaction to it. As a goalie on a 2-on-1, no matter how it happens or what the situation is, you take the shooter and you want to make that first save. But regardless of all of that, obviously the Sabres getting the first goal, they come back with 2 quick ones. The ability and the mental fortitude of Alex Lyon to respond and he didn't have to make unbelievable saves the rest of the game. I can point to 2 or 3, which I thought were really nice, but to have the mental stability to stay in there, be aggressive, make saves, get rebounds, get whistles in a relatively low event game, I thought was really, really impressive. And not only adds, and it adds to the lore that we've already talked about with him so far this season. He's obviously a huge, huge reason they're at 9 games right now.
How about the windmill glove save he made? That was awesome.
Yeah,
it was exaggerated, no doubt.
I don't know if you saw the one Igor made earlier tonight, but
yeah, it was sick.
Unfortunately, it didn't even come close to that.
No.
Igor tends to really, really emphasize those, which I respect very much because I do the same thing. Speaking of gloves, how about I said it earlier? How about the glove falling off on that play?
Oh, that's terrifying.
Net? It's one of your worst fears as a goalie. It's happened to me a few times.
Next to your helmet, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was close to the guy's skate that was passing by him. He's really, really lucky he didn't get cut there. And that could have been way worse than it was. And obviously that's a weird play with a weird bounce off the back of the net. But oh my gosh. I was thankful that he even made an attempt on that save. He was able to get his stick. He kind of made like a poke-checking motion.
It was a whiff, but I think he disrupted it. You know what I mean?
He affected it just enough.
And I don't know who was it. Who was it that whiffed on that?
I didn't. I can go back and look.
Whoever it was, maybe somebody in the peanut gallery can let us know who it was. What Blues player it was that whiffed on that empty net? But like, it's almost like the receiver hearing the corner's footsteps. You know what I mean? Like he knew that Alex was coming. He disrupted that. Maybe he got his peripherals and disrupted that enough for him to completely big. Charlie Browned it pretty much, right? Charlie Browned it.
It was 21 on the Blues, who is, let's see. It's annoying when they don't do numbers. It's definitely a guy that I know. 21. Snuggerud.
Snuggerud.
Had a pretty good game tonight.
He's a fun player to watch. I like Snuggerud.
Yeah, young kid, 21.
Great hockey.
He had that second goal that snuck under the pad, actually. But, yeah, I mean, thankful that it was a younger guy in that situation rather than a guy like Braden Shen or Jordan Kyrou. But, and then immediately afterwards, Peyton Krebs gets the empty net goal. These games, a lot of them have come down to inches. It's pretty amazing to say this about a Sabres team that was never able, or at least recently, not able to hold a 1-goal lead in the third period, or not able to come back from a 1-goal deficit, getting really down, especially on the road. And here they are winning all of these close games. Like, even if you look at the results from the streak, it is 4-3 overtime win, 3-2 win, 3-1 win, 5-3, 3-2 shootout win, 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, and 4-2. The biggest win of this entire streak was this past Saturday against the Bruins, and even in that game, they were down 1-0 relatively late into the first period. So I would like to see a little bit more as we continue along this path, a little bit more dominance, wire to wire type wins, as they continue to grow and build and mature. But winning these close games, these low scoring close games, is not what I expected from this team.
No, and I always felt again, I mentioned it. I'm not sure if I think you weren't on yet, but like at no point when they were down 2-1 did I feel they were going to lose that hockey game. At no point. Like I felt they were the better team for 90% of that game, in my opinion. And I at all times I felt they are going to come back and they are going to win this game, whether it's in regulation or overtime. They are not losing this hockey game. And then you saw the goal get called back on Tuck, but he comes back and what a fucking shot, by the way.
Yeah, like, he ripped it. He ripped it off. I think it went off the bar. But skating away, going far side, probably one that Hoffer would want back himself, but that's a tough shot. No, it's really, really well placed, and the timing of it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But even Josh Norris to begin the game, doing exactly what he's done since he's been back full time. The takeaway, the deception to hold off Hoffer on one side, and then the perfect pass over to Ostlund on the far side. It's pretty amazing what he's been able to accomplish in such a short time. And it does speak to, if we talk about Kevin Adams, it speaks to what he saw in Josh Norris, the upside that they were hopeful to get. Obviously didn't start out great with the injury, and then it was a brief injury after that. But since he's been back and been playing at a consistent clip, he has been incredible. You see the high-end talent, and you see maybe why they threw in that second round pick. I know people are upset about it, and it's probably not the greatest addition, especially for a division rival. But I personally think Josh Norris's highest level is way higher than Dylan Cousins' highest level.
Oh, I don't think there was ever.
No, yeah, but he's proven it when he's been healthy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever questioned who was the better player when healthy. It's just that last part, when healthy. I think that was the big knock on the trade is, yeah, you're getting the better player, but can he stay healthy? And right now it looks great. Hopefully he continues down this road. We do have a couple of questions. Steve Noble and then Buffalo Polka Drummer, also new to the chat. Welcome to the show, bud. We got Curls. While you've been out, man, we've getting a lot of new faces in the chat and a lot of new viewers. So thanks for people for coming in and supporting the show. Last two Tuesdays ago, I think we had just on Twitter and Facebook alone, we had over 20,000 live views, which is a record for this podcast. So a couple clicks for all you guys, appreciate the support. But Buffalo Polka Drummer, Zucker in for Greenway in Dallas. I mean, you can't take Ostlund out of this lineup. Would you agree with that? Because Greenway hasn't been playing bad either. Like who comes out of the lineup? You cannot take Noah Ostlund out.
No, I fully agree with that. And that's no disrespect to Jordan Greenway, because basically everyone on the team has been playing pretty good recently. But yeah, I think that's the right move. I really do. Even tonight though, look, Josh Doon played tonight, right? Like maybe
it's Josh Doon, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you find a way to take Josh Doon out of the lineup and leave Greenway in and replace him with Zucker, and then you figure out the lines from there. I would argue you should do that probably, and maybe even that's exactly what will happen.
Yeah. And another from Paul Hamilton, watch your language. Sign Tuck as soon as possible. He's going to be a player that will be great playoff player we need here. I know that is kind of like the elephant in the room right now, right? Yarmo said apparently Yarmo's already had conversations with Tuck's agent. We saw on the the behind the scenes stuff with the Sabres, Yarmo's first week. I don't know, man. Like, is the pressure on to get him signed right now?
I think as they continue along this path, I think it increases the pressure a little bit. I think we said a few weeks ago that if they continued to lose and they were out of it by the Olympic break, that it would make it way, way more of a possibility that he was going to get traded. But if they continue to stay in the mix, and obviously this win streak is going to come to an end at some point, but
they're never losing again. What are you talking about?
But building a sustainable roster that can win every 3 out of 5 games is going to put them in a position. I saw a projection earlier today that they were on a 92 to 93 point pace. I think it was with 92 point pace with 93 projected points based upon this one model. I think it's hockeystats.com. And that put them, unfortunately, just out of a playoff spot, tied with Florida, and they had a tiebreaker for some reason. But I think all of us would have signed up for that before the season, and especially sometime in mid-November, late November, earlier December. Like, I don't think anybody expected this team in this group to get to that level. So yeah, I think that makes it doesn't necessarily hurt Tuck's leverage, but I think it makes him potentially a little bit more likely to come down maybe just a tiny bit, or be a little bit more reasonable on the term, or finding some compromise to make this work a tiny bit better if the mood around the building and around the franchise is as good as it is right now.
I again, great points. You get back on Thursday, you said?
Thursday night, yeah.
Thursday night, and you're here till when?
Staying until I leave next Tuesday at 6 a.m.
Any thoughts about maybe going to this game this weekend? Or no, that's right. No, they play Columbus on Saturday. Are you gonna be here for the Vancouver game? Pride night?
I don't think I will be. I think I leave on the 6th, and I don't think they're back before then. But let me confirm that.
I think that's a must if we can get into a game together.
No, unfortunately, I leave that morning. That's Tuesday at 4 p.m. But
oh God,
I'll be back for the playoffs.
There you go. Right there, you go. Krebs back to the fourth line. Another guy too. That's a guy. I mean, last game I'm not sure how many points he had tonight, but as of last game, he had five points in the last 6. He had another one tonight. I'm not sure if he had any assists, but
yeah, just a goal tonight, but 2 shots on goal.
6 and 7. You know, a guy who's kind of turned on, becoming a little of an empty net merchant, but whatever. A goal's a goal, right? Shaw shows up the same on the box score.
Doesn't matter.
They play on the 6th, so
yeah, he's got 5 points in his last 5 games. 6 points.
6 in the last 7.
6 in his last 7, and
there was a multi-point game in there too. But
3 goals in his last 4. We'll take it.
I mean, I don't think he's really cemented himself as a top line guy. I think that's just kind of maybe a fill in until Zucker gets back. And that's another thing too that Yarmo was asked about Yuri Kulik, and when asked about when he expects him to be back, he didn't have no update, but he goes he hopes he's back this season. So he didn't say for sure it's about he's done for the year. So that's some type of optimism. So you got to think too, this is a lineup without Yuri Kulik, who was a guy that I think a lot of us expected to be a 20-plus goal scorer this year. So I don't know, man. I'm excited, and I'm excited for being buyers, not being a seller for once, being a buyer at the deadline. I know we're getting way too ahead of ourselves here. What's the saying? Don't put the horse in front of the wagon, or what is it again?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, don't put the wagon in front of the horse, or however you say it. But I just love having these conversations and feeling they're actually real conversations. How would you compare this team to that 2018 10-game winning streak team?
God, it's hard to remember, aside from Michael and Olofsson and a few of the other guys. Obviously, Dahlin's rookie season. Was Carter Hutton the goalie? He must have been, right?
I don't know if it wasn't Leonard, was it?
No, it must have been
Carter after
Hutton.
Leonard.
Let me see.
I want to say it was Hutton. You're right.
Let's see if I can do this quickly. 2018, 2019 regular season. And goaltending, it was Carter Hutton, played 50 games, had 3 goals against, 908 save percentage. Allmark played 37. Very similar numbers. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you had the superstar. That was probably Eichel's best season as a Sabre, 82 points in 77 games. Reinhardt 65 and 82, Skinner 63, his 40 goal season, obviously. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I would say kind of similarly built. You've got some stars at the top and some guys to round in. I think the defense is probably way better. There's
I agree with that.
Ristolainen, Bogosian, Jake McCabe, Marco Scandella. Eventually, Montour came over, and Nathan Bulio mixed in there. I would say defense and goaltending probably better, but the high-end talent, at least from a scoring perspective, namely Eichel, Reinhart, and Skinner, was potentially a little bit better. But hard to say. I mean, the leading scorer on the team, Tage Thompson, doesn't even have a point per game at the moment. They've gotten contributions all over the lineup, and I think the forward group is a little bit more balanced. At least during this 9-game win streak, they're getting really timely scoring, and they've been able to protect leads a little bit better. I think it was Mike Kelly on Twitter today talk about how he didn't necessarily think this exact version of the Sabres was sustainable because their expected goals in certain situations were at the bottom of half of the league. But he also said that they have been in games where they've been protecting leads and that they've had to go into a specific system, specifically in the second half of games, because they've been getting out to leads. Tonight, obviously, they got out to a lead and then were down very quickly. So that changes the course of the game. But without question, this was one of their more dominant games. Even coming off that game against the Bruins, where the shots, I think, were, 32-12 at one point in the third period.
Yeah.
They absolutely dominated in all facets, even after a slow start. So, hard to say which team, but 10 wins, no matter how you get them, is hard to do in the NHL. And we'll see if they can do it against the Stars, which is one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, and again, the Stars, honestly, in a kind of a similar situation. Obviously, one's not going to be an RFA and Tuck could be a UFA, but a star player getting right whose deal. I mean, again, RFA status compared to UFA, but like similar situation almost, where fans are kind of left wondering what's going to come of this guy come the trade deadline. With Yarmo too, it's not, the fun thing about that is it's actually like a realistic conversation to have about Jason Robertson, about Jordan Kyrou, about fill in the blank guy, because he's not afraid to take those swings. Now, he's not afraid to swing for the fence.
Yeah, I think Kyrou is way more realistic, just given where they are in the standings. I think they're going to be sellers. So I would definitely have that conversation. Robertson maybe a little bit less, just because of their position in the standings. He's the second leading scorer on the team. God, I was just looking it up. Mikko Rantanen is a demon. He's got 54 points in 38 games, 39 assists in 38 games. So that turned out to be pretty good signing for them. He's been incredible. Wyatt Johnson's obviously been really good. Heiskanen's doing what Heiskanen does. He's, I think, a top 10 defenseman in the league. It's a really, really good team. It's essentially Team Finland that they've acquired there in Central Texas, which is really bizarre to say, but they've established a really good group, and it's backstopped by who I think, depending on what happens with Connor Hellebuyck in the next month or so, potentially the starter for Team USA at the Olympics in Jake Oettinger.
Yeah, that is, he's obviously, Helly's coming off an injury that kept him out for a little bit. He obviously might not be the same goalie he was beforehand. I think it's a 3-horse race right now. Or actually, no, it's going to be Swayman, Hellebuyck, and Oettinger, right? Those are your top three.
For sure.
I mean, I'm not sure what type of season Swayman's having, but Oettinger has to be the favorite right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he hasn't had that much experience, but he's proven that he can play in big games. Obviously, that's been the knock on Hellebuyck over the years. So I personally, as a fan, wanting Team USA to succeed, I almost feel better with Jake Oettinger as Team USA starting goalie. I think his height, kind of like the Norris Cousins conversation, his ceiling is potentially a little bit higher than Hellebuyck's. Hellebuyck can be really good, especially in the regular season. Swayman's been great, 291. Well, not great, but 900 save percentage, 291. He hasn't been bad by any means. He's definitely a really good third option. Canada would kill to have three options like that, but they're probably going to bring Jordan Binnington, I imagine, who has proven in big game after big game that he can be a guy that can go out and win you a title, no matter what format it's in. So I won't doubt him until I see otherwise in that situation. But should be fun. I hope they finish the rink.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope that doesn't turn out to be a shit show. Like smaller rink. It didn't look remotely close to done. What was it like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. News flash: the Italians don't know anything about hockey.
True, but he also had a lot of time to build.
No, it's inexcusable, and it's on the IOC as well. It's on the IIHF. It's on everybody. I think that this is insane that we're even having this conversation, but I do think a significant amount of resources have been put in since these clips have been going viral on social media. So I imagine it's going to be done pretty soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. Anyways, any other thoughts on the game? Obviously, I love the the goal Benny had. It was like such a Benny goal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, like, he doesn't need to be flashy. He doesn't need to be pretty. That guy does the same thing every single shift. We saw it last game in the goat head jerseys where, he didn't get on the, and I said it like in the post game, like he may not get on the score sheet every night. He may not be in the box, but he finds ways to impact the game. And you saw right before they scored, I forget who scored the goal. It might have been Samuelson's goal, but like he was getting abused by two defensemen in front of the net. Just absolutely abused. But he was battling and setting up a screen, and then the puck ends up in the net. Like, that guy has a future captain written all over for him. I know Darlene's the captain. I'm just saying this, but like that guy is a born leader.
Yeah, definitely leads by example. I know he seems to be a little bit mild-natured off the ice. I mean, he's 20 years old. But there's a reason that he made the NHL as a 13th overall pick, as a 5'10", 18-year-old. He's a dog. He's a hound. He hounds defensemen on the forecheck. He's constantly tracking pucks, lifting sticks, being a pest. Everything that we've always said about him has been true again this season. And I think that as we've seen when he's been out, the team is way different without him in the lineup. And I think every single team in the NHL would love to have a guy like him, which makes it even funnier that 12 other teams passed on him in the draft, probably mostly because of his size, which speaks to everything wrong about hockey, the nature of evaluating hockey players. But doesn't matter at this point because I do think he'll be a Sabre for a long time. I think another guy kind of like Josh Doan that Yarmo, I imagine, is running those numbers with Josh Flynn on what a potential extension would look like. And I would love for that to be done before the end of the season just to ensure his spot and hopefully get a good deal on it because I think he's only going to get better. We're talking about him in this way when he scored tonight, obviously, but he's not scoring that consistently. And it took him a while, obviously, to get his first goal this season. So once he starts, which he will because he consistently gets to the net, puts himself in good positions, puts his teammates in good positions, good things are going to happen. That sounds like a cliche that you hear from your hockey coach, but it's true. And it's a reason. Cliches are said as often as they are for a reason because very often they are true. He's constantly putting himself in the right spot, and eventually it's gonna pay off for him in terms of more goals as we saw tonight, which is not even just like, it's a grinder goal, a little bit of a dirty goal, but he batted the puck out of midair. Like that's a lot of skill. And remember his first goal in the NHL against the Capitals, it was through his legs, top shelf, bar down. Like the kid has a ton of talent aside from being
so much
past. And
it's crazy he fell. It's crazy he fell to us in that draft.
Well, I really do think it was the hockey operations departments of those 12 teams, maybe not the first 3 or 4, but all 7 or 8 after.
Oh. Froze up on us there for a second. Not sure if you're aware, Connor. You're frozen. You froze up there for a second, Hurls, but you're good now. You're good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in a very the way you were frozen on the screen, it looks like you were deep in thought.
I was. I always am.
You always are. Yep. Yeah, buddy. I just he is as I hate using, like you said, you talk about cliche sayings, but I'll use one here. He is like the definition of a blue collar hockey player. It's just this, the way he carries himself on the ice. He's not afraid to go into a corner and dig out a puck. He's not afraid to take a beating in front of the net. You know, he'll put a puck on net. He'll shoot for rebounds. You know, he'll stick up for he's the smallest guy on the ice, but he's the first one in a scrum. And you know what? He can dangle you too. And it's funny. My dad wanted a new Sabres jersey for Christmas, and all he had was this Miller jersey. He had the old Slug Miller jersey. It was a knockoff at that. And we were gonna give him a Sabres jersey for Christmas. And my sister and my stepmom were out Christmas shopping. I said, get him a Zach Benson. And they buy it, they get it professionally wrapped, the whole 9 yards. And I said, hold on. He goes, you said you should tell me the cost. I'm like, that sounds pretty cheap. They bought him the number 9 Benson. So I had to go return that one. But I did get him a Josh Doan jersey. So
just as good.
Can't go wrong with that. Guy's going to be here forever, I think. And Josh Doan, another guy too. You can say he's a bigger version of Benny almost at this point.
Yeah, safe choice. Two clerical updates in terms of trends with the Sabres and also records, but obviously there was a lot of talk of their performance on the road. They are now 8-9-2, which is in the NHL sense close to 500, which is obviously super promising. And the goals for and goals against are tied exactly at 120. 120 goals for, 120 goals against for a goal differential of 0.
We're back to 0.
Back to 0.
Love to see it.
2 games over.
9 wins in a row, back to 0.
Well, 6 games over the NHL's 500. 2 games over a lot of people's definition of 500. 20 wins, 18 losses. 14 regulation losses, 4 losses in overtimes or shootouts. No shootout losses this year, actually. 3-0 in shootouts. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Remember back in the days of Leonard where you couldn't even get a save in a shootout.
And now we have shootout specialists like Jack Quinn and potentially Josh Norris with what he did last week against the Islanders. So that is always nice. But yeah, I think, it's a tall task on, is it Thursday against the Sharks? New Year's Eve would be a nice way to round out the year, round out an incredible month.
Yeah.
I don't think the expectation should be, I imagine they'll be pretty significant underdogs. Wait, was this? It's going to be Wednesday. Yeah. They'll be pretty significant underdogs. The Stars are 12-5-2 at home, 25-7-7 on the year. Obviously a very good team with a lot of firepower, especially if Ottinger's in net. But if they are able to get to 10 on New Year's Eve to round out the month and can keep this going into the new year, as you said, I think a lot of people will show up to the airport.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve is overrated. That sounds like a good party to me.
Yeah, right. Oh God, I'm there. I don't care if I have dinner plans or not. I'm there. I want to give a shout out to Dan Anderson too. By the way, small world. Turns out he's been watching our show for a long time and didn't realize he's a family friend. So shout out to you, Danny. Thanks for always supporting the show. Your sister Sarah mentioned that you literally watch every single post game. We appreciate your support. So shout out to you, Dan, and shout out again to all the newcomers here. And again, every single time we go live after a game, Hurls, I'm seeing new names. Luke Blurch here, AA Barber, another new name in the chat. Let me see here. Brady Bunch 1654, another new name in the chat. PVT Caboose, whatever that means. Welcome to the program. Wyoming Tryout. Wyoming Treouts. Welcome to the show.
The Treouts. It's like a Canadian accent.
Treouts. Buffalo Man K4P. Welcome to the show. So again, you guys make this show possible. I can't express it enough. You've been here through all the bad times. So it makes like the good times right now, for at least the time being, that much more sweeter. So before we kick it over to our sponsors one last time, before we get to our final thoughts, please, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon, hammer that like button, so goes a long way for us when it comes to the algorithm. And again, make sure you're subscribed. If you're audio only, make sure you're following us along on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. I know you can do that now on Spotify, especially. You want to follow us on Twitter? You can find me at Duane S39, my co-host Connor at CHurls13 on Instagram and Twitter. At Built for Built in Buffalo, you can find at Built in Buffalo _ on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to kick it back over our sponsors. Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer or somewhere to celebrate 9 Sabres wins in a row, maybe 10, looking for somewhere to go on New Year's Eve, why not go to Fatty Beer? Was there last week, had a great time with Greg Day, watching World Junior Hockey, watching Team USA win. Get over there, let them know we sent you. And of course, as always, Extreme Discount Mattress.
We know with Skechers, your day starts with the comfort and support you need for your feet. And now that same innovation has made its way to the bedroom. Introducing the Skechers Sleep System. With cooling SketchKnit fabric, pressure-relieving Skechers Max cushioning, and our Skechers Posture Fit support system. Your day ends just like it began, with Skechers comfort that never stops. Skechers mattresses, exclusively at Extreme Discount Mattress, the lowest prices in the nation.
And thanks again to our sponsors at Fatty Beer Company and, of course, Extreme Discount Mattress. They sell mattresses for less, a lot less. Discount Mattress. Hurls, your final thoughts before we get out of here.
What's the LeBron meme where he's like holding his head next to a pool and it was like smiling through it all?
Can't believe this is my life, or whatever it is.
My life. Yeah, that's I never thought it would apply to the Sabres again, but that's how I feel.
It's where we're at, man.
It's how I feel at the moment. It's amazing. I was at the Islander game a couple weeks ago. Wasn't able to make the Bruins game on Saturday, but talked to a lot of people that were there. And I've only been to 3 games this year, but each game has felt like a playoff atmosphere, and it feels as though the momentum is coming back, not only around the team, but amongst the fan base. Obviously, winning cures all. Everybody knew that the fans were still there. They were justifiably frustrated. We were justifiably frustrated. Some of us are a little bit more sick than others and kind of slugged our way through the really tough times, mostly because we just like watching hockey, especially hockey at the highest level, no matter who they're playing. But those tough times and all that pain are, in my opinion, a little bit worth it for moments like this and for a streak like this and for everything coming together. So if there are those of you out there that have slugged their way through the drought like we have, you've earned it. And for those of you that didn't, that took a break and are now back and were there before or just jumping on now, I don't care. And I will welcome you with open arms because I think this team needs as much support as it can possibly get. It's a young group, obviously, in a new era with a new regime. And I think the momentum that they have right now can be translated into something tangible and real and genuine moving forward. I think all of us know what it's like to have a winner in Buffalo, whether it be the hockey team or the football team. But there is a different feeling when the hockey team is good around the entire city, around the culture of what it means to be a hockey fan and a hockey player in Western New York. Whether you learned to skate at age 2 and have played your whole life like me, or you played NHL, or you have been a casual fan of the game for a long time just because you love watching it. It's a really remarkable thing, and I think that this team has the ability to not necessarily continue to win and never lose again, but be on better than a 93-point pace, potentially getting into the high 90s like we kind of predicted preseason. I think that's the goal at this point, is to potentially even get there and maybe even get that 3rd or 2nd spot. Who knows? Maybe even the 1st spot in the Atlantic.
For the division, dude. Fuck it.
There's a lot of parity in the
division.
A lot of parity in the Eastern Conference right now. I was just looking at that. I mean, the Sabres are tied for the wild card spot right now, but they're also 4 points away from last place in the Eastern Conference. They are
saying this.
They're directly in the middle of the Eastern Conference at the moment. The Hurricanes have 51 points in 38 games. The Sabres have 44. The Columbus Blue Jackets are in last place in the East. They have 40 points in 38 games. Most of the bad teams in the league are in the West. So they're going to continue, obviously need to win these games against bad teams, which they haven't done a lot of recently, but they need, like they did in that 5-game stretch before this, gotta at least get a point in these Eastern Conference games because it can get real tight super, super quickly with how much
I'm gonna actually bring up the standings here real quick before we get out of here too, just so everyone can see who's been watching, who's been sticking with us here for a minute now. Let me share my screen here. We'll pull up the share screen. There we go. Boom. So bring it in. There we go. So it's a second there. Yeah. So there's the standings right there, like you said. And the Bruins did just lose in overtime. So the Bruins did get 1 point, but they did not get 2.
Tied for the wild card,
like
2
you
points
said,
out of third place in the Atlantic. Like every single game against an Eastern Conference team for the rest of the season is going to be that much more important.
But like I joke about, let's go win the division. Dude, they're literally only 5 points back with 2 games in hand on the division right now.
And look at the team that's leading the division, the Detroit Red Wings, who the Sabres have done really well against recently. And look at their goal differential. They're -4. Like this isn't necessarily like this amazing hockey team. And I would say the Lightning aren't necessarily the Lightning of old. They're getting much older. They're not necessarily the same team that won back-to-back Stanley Cups. I personally would be most fearful of the Canadians, especially the way the Sabres have played against them recently. I think they could easily win the division. I think it's a similar team, a lot of young talent. They're getting good goaltending, but yeah, this is wide open. I think the Panthers obviously are gonna, as they are recently, 7-3 in their last 10. They're gonna come on strong, and I think they were kind of resting on their laurels after 2 straight cup runs, healing up some bumps and bruises a little bit. But they're gonna be there. Captains are always there. I expect the Devils to make a push, especially once Hughes is back. Hughes is back already, but as he continues to recover from his injury. Penguins have been surprising, but
they just made a move today.
Yeah, who knows? The Leafs, I think, could potentially figure it out, or they'll bottom out, which would be even better. But yeah,
there is not a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference right now.
No, there's not, and there really hasn't been, aside of like obviously the Panthers, but they've kind of done it in a unique way. Obviously, the Lightning were there for a little bit. Hurricanes are always good, but yeah, I'm not scared of anyone in the East at the moment, and that is the best thing that you can say about where the Sabres are.
No doubt. And like piggybacking off what you said, I'm not afraid of the Red Wings. I'm not afraid of the Lightning. Montreal always finds a way to give us trouble. Carolina is a tough team to play against, but that's not our division. But like I look at these teams, man, and I think the most fearful team is probably Florida because they're not healthy right now. When they get healthy, I mean, they will get Barkov back at the end of the season, I believe. The whole LTIR thing, they'll probably have him back for playoffs. And you know how that goes, man, when you have guys on LTR. This is the last year they can do it. They'll probably be huge buyers, the deadline, load up. But until then, man, this is a very wide open conference. And we've been talking about it constantly on this show. When is somebody going to break away from the pack? How long have we been talking about that? Like, it feels like 2 months. When is a team going to finally break away from the pack and really take control of the conference and the division? They're just not. Nobody wants to.
Yeah, well, I mean, it speaks to where these teams are in their builds at the moment. A lot of young guys in the Atlantic combined with 2 older, more experienced and savvy teams in the Lightning and the Panthers. So, I mean, you could even, well, obviously, the Bruins could be considered there as well, and maybe even the Leafs. But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens. But I also would much rather have the young and hungry team that is desperate to break a drought rather than a team that has been there before, or a team that is on the aging side and maybe might not be as fresh down the home stretch in March and April.
I agree with you there. That being said, guys, I don't got much left. We've got going for almost an hour now. But again, thank you everybody for popping in and joining us. Not just now, but all season long. Thank you for the new people that came in. You know, like here, this guy PVD Caboose, Connor Holenbeck, not to be confused with Hellebuck.
To be confused because it's spelled C-O-N. Oh, I thought you were going to say my name, C-O-N-N-E-R. That's a different spelling.
Holenbeck, not Hellebuck. And yes, go Bills, but this is a Sabres podcast. We'll talk to you guys. I mean, we'll see about a show tomorrow because I'm. Are you going to be available Wednesday night?
Still figuring out my New Year's plans. Potentially not, but yeah, I'll let you know. It could be tough.
I will say this: no matter what, there will be an I'll hang up and listen on Wednesday night. I don't care if I have to do it from my phone. There will be one. So, and if there is a 10th win in a row, party at the airport. Let's go Sabres. Thanks for popping in. We will talk to you later. Let's make it 10 in a row. That's a sick hat.
I got it in New Era last week.
That is dope. I got this one.
The pixelated logo. It's pretty cool.
The NHL days, from the NHL Sega days.
They have a Bills one that's really cool as well.
I got this guy. It's kind of the glare from the light, but it's like got I don't know, like a light bluish hue to it. But I love it.
It's a snapback. It fits really well. I was super stoked to see it when I was there last week. Yeah. I was looking for a nice one to add to the collection. So pop on down to New Era. I'm sure they have more.
Yeah, I might have to. We'll talk to you guys later. And as always, go Sabres. Let's win 10 in a row, baby. 10 in a row. See you later.